Alright guys, today I'm going to be showing you the Bluetti AC200L power station and why it might be good for van life and maybe not. I watched a ton of reviews and all the van lifers said, yes, this is the perfect thing for van life. I was kind of sitting there like, no, I don't think that's really going to work. This is no doubt a great power station. I've loved testing it out over the past few months, but there are some things missing that I think Bluetti could do a better job of, especially when it comes to integrating this into a camper van. When I first looked into this product, I was like, this could pretty much replace my entire solar system. I could remove my battery, my DC to DC charger, my inverter charger, and just throw this in, plug it into my solar panels and my alternator, good to go. But there are a few things missing. Before we get into that, I'm going to show you guys all the great features that this power station has. The AC200L has a 248 watt hour battery. You can expand this portable power station up to 8,192 watt hours using the Bluetti B300 expandable battery banks. You can get up to 2 of them and they plug into a port right on the side here. That is a ton of power. So that's almost 700 amp hours of 12 volt power. Right now I have a 400 amp hour 12 volt battery in this camper van and I don't see the need to go any bigger. The battery is good for 3,000 cycles at 80% DOD. There's a lot of lithium batteries out there that go up to 5,000 cycles. But for portable power stations on the market today, that is pretty respectable. The AC200L also comes with a 5-year warranty, which is one of the best warranties on the market. There is a 2400 watt built-in inverter in this power station, and there is actually a powerlifting mode where you can go up to 3,600 watts, but that's only for a short time period. You can connect this power station up to a solar grid up to 1,200 watts and 145 volts, which is huge. As with all Bluetti portable power stations, this does come with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you can actually connect it to a local Wi-Fi network and control it from anywhere. This thing is super quiet compared to some of my other solar components. This thing doesn't make a sound. One of the downsides is this is actually 64 pounds, which is pretty heavy, but it does pack a lot of features. It does come with 2 really sturdy handles on either side here, which make it easy to carry around. There is a UPS system built into this, so you never have to worry about power breakups when you're plugging things in. I did notice on one of the reviews that I watched, if you do have devices that pull over 750 watts, it does have a very small period where you may lose power, but it's only a millisecond or 2. One of the features that this power station actually doesn't have compared to one of the ones I previously reviewed, which was the Bluetti EB3A, is a wireless charging on top here. It was a great feature. I used it all the time and I'm a little disappointed that they don't have this in the box. You're going to get the portable power station itself, and then you're also going to get a little bag here with all the cables that you require. It's nice that they come wrapped up here, so makes storage super easy. First off is your AC charging cable. I'm going to get into this a little bit later when we go over the ports here, but these are actually the aviation connections and they are solid. And you'll notice there is no power brick, so it's actually built into the unit itself. Next up is the DC charging cable. So this also has an aviation port and then it has a converter. So this plugs on the side here, and then you can either charge via a regular cigarette lighter, or you can plug into your solar panels. And this easily just plugs in here. I must say though, I do like these aviation ports much better. I kind of wish that they just did 2 separate solar and DC connections, so you didn't have to worry about unplugging these connections. Okay, so onto the ports themselves. Over here we have the inverter, 30 amp, 120 volt, and then 4 of your regular 120 volt plugs. Everything has dust covers, which is really nice. Over here we have 2 USB-C 100 watt outlets and then 2 USB-A 18 watt outlets. Over here we have the DC outlets. So the one on top here is just your regular cigarette lighter charger. And then underneath here we have a 48 volt 6 amp DC outlet, and this can actually go to a 12-volt fuse box that you use in a camper van build to power all your DC outlets. Right here you have a really nice power button, and then you have your screen here, shows the charge percentage. There's an eco mode that I currently have powered on, and then you have your DC inputs, DC outputs, AC inputs, AC outputs, turning on the DC, the inverter, and then the USB ports. Really simple to use. I also went over the app during the review of the Bluetti EB3A that I did, and I honestly really like it. It's a great app. If you end up picking one of these up, I bet you'll end up using the app a lot more than the buttons and the screen itself, because it's just that great. Over on the input side here, we have the AC charger with, again, the aviation screw cap. We have the DC charger, aviation screw cap. And then the plug over here with the dust cover is actually for the battery expansion. So if you did buy those Bluetti B300 expansion batteries, this is where you'd connect them. Underneath that, we have a circuit protector and then a grounding screw if you decide you need to ground this unit. Okay, so on to the points why I don't think this can actually replace a full solar power system for a camper van or trailer or whatever. Point number one is the fact that there is only one charging port for DC. They really should have just created two separate ports, one for solar and one for DC. And then they should have made that DC to DC charger way higher. Charging 12 volts at 15 amps DC is just going to take forever to charge this power station. It needs to be up to 50 amps and make it customizable so people can just change how much they're pulling from their alternator from their phone. We personally primarily get most of our power from our alternator anyways when we're driving down the road. We don't get a ton of sun, especially in the winter. So we need that power from our alternator to charge our battery banks. And all van lifers also need to be able to charge using both solar and alternator at the same time. So when you're cruising down the highway and it's sunny, you're just charging your battery super quick. The next thing that they need to add to this is a heated element to the battery, because Kaylee and I spent a ton of time camping during the winter, and as you guys know, you can't charge lithium iron phosphate batteries below 0 degrees Celsius. It can be very damaging to the cells. If they had a built-in heater for this battery bank, that would be awesome. The last thing is having a 3,000 watt inverter would be really nice. With that said, Kaylee and I did get by for 2 years with a 2,000 watt inverter, and it was fine. We would just have to watch when we were plugging in those devices that have high power demand and be sure not to overwork our inverter too much. But if they could up this to 3,000 watts, that would be perfect. Now, one thing that is really nice about this versus having a completely built-in solar system is you could just take this out of your van, go into Starbucks or wherever you're having breakfast or lunch or whatever, plug it in to a wall outlet by your table, hopefully, and charge this up in 45 minutes. The Bluetti power stations have a turbocharge feature, and you can literally charge this unit from 0 to 80% in 45 minutes. So that is like no time at all. Makes things super easy, because sometimes it is really hard to find plugins while you're on the road and you don't want to pay $50 for a campsite. Not to mention how much easier this thing would be to install rather than wiring up an inverter charger, DC to DC charger, your battery, all your bus bars and everything. Being able to just install this component would make things so much easier. Let me know what you think about this and whether it would fit your needs for van life. But unfortunately, Bluetti isn't quite there yet for us. If you guys liked this video and found it useful, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.